Welcome to I Love the Library. My name is Lisa Tran and I'm the Public Services Supervisor here at the library. Today I'll be featuring some of our new items. Now I don't know about you, but with the cold and the snow, I've been getting a little antsy about traveling somewhere new. And therefore today's books I'll feature will allow you to either travel back in time to a different time period or to a new country, or a combination of both. So first up we have Sophie Valaroo's Paris Stars by Samantha Verrant. This book was a fun continuation of the book The Secret French Recipes of Sophie Valaroo. I would recommend reading the first book first, but if you don't, it's okay. This continuation takes our chef Sophie as she learns what's truly important to her, whether it's receiving another Michelin star or her friends and family. At the end, there is also a section of recipes from the book, and they sound incredible, particularly Gustave's flambéed cognac strawberry crepes with whipped cream and chocolate sauce. It just sounded divine. Next up, we have World Travel, an Irreverent Guide by Anthony Bourdain and Laurie Wooliver. In this guide, visit some of Anthony Bourdain's favorite places to travel. As this is written after Bourdain has passed, the book is based more upon his past writings along with tributary essays from friends and families. It's an interesting book to glance through, with various countries that are broken up by sections that have bits about the country, in Bourdain's opinion, of course, what it's like to arrive there, accommodations, and of course there's much about food. The food descriptions definitely make one hungry and wish to travel immediately to that country and eat the food. It was a bit hard to prep for that one without being able to eat the food there. The Collector's Daughter, a novel about the discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb by Gil Paul. This historical fiction is about Evelyn Herbert and her part in the discovery of King Tut's tomb. This book was a really interesting read as I didn't know much about the history surrounding the discovery of King Tut's tomb. I really appreciated the historical afterword and the photography, the photographs at the end of the book, and I'm curious to actually research more about that time period now. And another fascinating tidbit is that Evelyn Herbert grew up in the Highclere Castle, which is the real Downton Abbey, so you get to see a little bit of that history of the real Downton Abbey in it. It's an interesting read as it does bounce back and forth between parts in Evelyn's life, where she's younger and then goes back to when she's older, and it also, of course, kind of touches on the theory of the curse of the ones who opened King Tut's tomb. Next up, we will have The Return of Pharaoh by Nicholas Meyer. If you prefer historical-themed mysteries, you're going to maybe enjoy this one. This one is told as perspective from the famous Dr. Watson, and it's told more like that he wrote journals and then submitted those journals to be published. So it's very much like Dr. Watson is writing this book, which is an interesting perspective. And then in this, it's an interesting take on some of the classic Sherlock Holmes stories. It's set in 1911 and it's in Egypt, with Sherlock investigating two murders that are separated by 3,000 years, with mummies, potential curses, Sphinx's riddles. Will Sherlock and Dr. Watson be able to solve the case? Find out in The Return of the Pharaoh. If you prefer nonfiction, this one might be one for you. Four Lost Cities, A Secret History of the Urban Age by Annalee Newitz. This is a fascinating read that is discussing the rise and fall of some of the most spectacular ancient cities. Newitz travels to those four cities and then uses the latest research available in archaeology to do more research and write this book. She reveals environmental changes and political turmoil that ended up dooming those settlements. She also introduces us to the possible workers who built the cities and created the monuments that have stood the test of time. It's a journey into the past, but it also gives us insight into the future of how cities can be doomed, but also what they can do to change and improve. Up next we have Elizabeth Shue Close, Life in Modern Architecture by Jane King Hessen. This biography is about the life of Minnesota's first modern architect, Elizabeth Shue Close. Elizabeth designed more than 215 buildings in Minnesota. However, she was born in Vienna, and then she studied architecture at MIT. Her first job was in Philadelphia, but then one of her fellow MIT classmates, and what ended up being her future husband, invited her to come to Minnesota and help start their own firm. Elizabeth's style of architecture was influenced by her childhood home in Vienna, but also the various different upheavals occurring in the 20th century. This book is fun to glance through and see the pictures of the various buildings that Elizabeth designed, and it's just really interesting to learn more about the architecture within Minnesota. Thank you for watching I Love the Library, and we hope to see you soon.